Guys, God is a woman. Hi, I'm Jack, and it has been quite a while since I've posted about a show. Before I started making K-pop centric content, I actually talked a lot about movies and shows, and you could say that romance was kind of my thing. Today I'm going to be talking about My Demon and why I really like it. I started to watch this show because New Jeans, a K-pop group I like, made a song for them, and I listened to it and fell in love with it. After listening to this song multiple times and hearing good things about it on the internet, I decided to give it a watch. My Demon is about our two main characters, Dudui and Jong Guwon. Dudui is a businesswoman that is in control of a food and beverage company, and Jong Guwon is in the business of sending people to hell, because he is the devil. A lot happens in this show, from the rivalries between the characters, the death of characters in the show, the mystery, the mental stability of our main characters switching back and forth, and of course, the romance between our two main characters. Dewey and Guwon at the start of the show do not like each other at all, and the only reason they are even remotely around each other is because they need each other. Dewey because she needs protection and help to solve the death of who killed her mother figure Madame Ju, and Guwon because he needs Dewey in order to use his demon powers, since they were transferred to her early in the show. I love this show's use of tropes. I find that sometimes a show uses too many tropes and it just gets annoying, but My Demon does not do that, and I feel it uses its tropes pretty well. It uses the haters to lovers trope, it uses the drunk person trope, and look, alcohol is bad, but I like this trope. I don't know if this is a trope or something I just came up with in my head, but it also uses the damsel in distress or male savior trope, since a lot of the time when Dewey is in a tough situation, Guwon will just swoop in. Plus, Dewey has called him her savior multiple times. And Guwon himself fits in the trope of being a dark and brooding handsome guy who gets a little soft the more he spends time with the female lead. The characters in this show are so alluring. There's obviously Dewey, who is an absolute girl boss and someone who has experienced grief beyond what any person should go through, but continues to move forward with the hopes of finding happiness and accomplishment. And Guwon, someone who was royalty in his past life and killed and died because of the person he loved most, and became the devil, learning how to appreciate humanity over time. But there are also characters like Jin, who spent her entire life devoted to Guwon, but then learned how to love herself and do things not for the validation of this demon who saved her years ago. Also, Suk-min and Do-kyung, characters who are mentally unwell, but are needed in the story in order to develop our main characters, and the plot and showcase how humanity may be responsible for truly devilish things. The writing in general of the show was surprising to me with how good it was. It can go from a drama to a thriller to a comedy to a romance so quickly without it being jarring. It feels like everything was done purposefully, and yeah, this show isn't perfect. Dewey and Guwon literally get married in less than a month of knowing each other. But I still think it's pretty darn good. Some standout things of the show to me were the Perlicedes and Scallions. They were so comedic but also threatening during earlier parts of the show. They gave me Team Rocket vibes, and every time they came on screen, it was just a treat. Mr. Park and Miss Shin are both amazing characters. They are the support characters for our main leads and care for our main leads. They are different, with Miss Shin typically being more serious and Mr. Park being more comedic, but their caring nature is what really makes them similar. When these two showed up on screen together, I automatically started shipping them and started calling them my favorite ship in the show. And when it was revealed that they were together, I was so happy. I also loved that these two characters were older and yet given a romance plot with one another. I feel like romance, at least in media, is showcased to be between younger people, so I really liked this pairing. I really liked Jin and Sukun. Sukun from day one was always Team Dewey, and although he was in love with Dewey and had a little rivalry with Guwon at the start, he came to realize that Guwon truly makes her happy, and that he will still care for her regardless of if they are in a relationship or not. I found Sukun's relationship with Guwon by the end of the show very nice, along with Jin's relationship with Dewey. Both started off as sort of antitheses for our mains, but ended up as some of my favorite characters by the end of the show. Madame Ju was also another highlight. She is a flawed character, but that's what makes her so interesting. Her flaws and the secrets that she keeps are essentially what make the show, with how she never told Dewey entirely what happened when her parents died, her cancer, and how she formed this terrible family due to her actions in the past. She was and continues to be Dewey's guiding light even after death. Also, that scene where she's like, loving Dewey over time only caused me to hurt more, freaking broke me. Especially since Dewey felt the same for essentially all the relationships she had, and felt guilty for just being happy. I've talked about the writing in the show, but the visuals and music in the show are also freaking fantastic. A great scene to represent this would be the entirety of that salsa street fight dance between Guwon, Dewey, and the Perilla Seeds and Scallions. The lights, the choreography, the special effects, the music in the background, and the chemistry between our two main characters is just so good. The songs in this show just put emphasis on what is happening on the screen and make your emotions while watching even stronger. The colors and camera work just bring out immense awe in me as an artist and a YouTuber. When I look at scenes like the dance fight scene, the word that comes to mind is pretty. Just pretty. It's pretty, man. Maybe I'm like a cat and have a tiny brain that I love these things as much as I do, but I love pretty things. Like you. I thought that the ending was really well done. The show could have easily just ended with Guwon coming back, but it gave us this sort of epilogue to tie off every character's story. Guwon and God's convo was really sweet, and God in general was a good character. I liked how Kim Se-ra and Jin Ga-young both found their ways to help out children, with Jin becoming an angel and Se-ra making a children's center. Jin calling herself an angel and helping out the little girl, and the references to her childhood and how Guwon saved her warmed my heart, and I thought was a good way to tie off her character. Mr. Park and Miss Shin coming out and being open about their relationship was cute and funny. Sukun becoming chairman was also good, and that little glimpse of Dewey and Guwon just living life together was great. Not gonna lie, when Dewey said, "You are who I hate the most, but also the one I love the most," as Guwon hugged her, made me want to scream. Like, bro, I love them so much. In conclusion, My Demon is a great show, and I'm probably gonna watch more K-dramas in the future. This show shocked me with how actually well done it was, and overall I would recommend it. This is all for today. Check out some of my other videos and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye! feel bad for all these kids looking up to superstars like there's some heroes with capes, when in reality all they be doing is rolling blunts like they're plating up crepes or taking hits from the vape. I spend too much time at the studio, I feel like I need an escape. I feel like people don't really like this shit that I make, despite liking the shit that these motherfuckers do. Honestly, I consider it a disgrace.